Guys, no joke, that was one of the greatest hauls I've ever had. So I got a ton, and I mean a ton, disc-only games for 10 bucks. This is 32 games that have been saran wrapped together so that they don't get damaged. I traded in those 9 games to GameStop and got a total of $87 in credit. So here is what I picked up. So we got, first off, and all of these I did as a buy two get one, because that was one of the big things they run during Pro Days, is a buy two get one. Now it was only on Xbox One and PS4 games. I originally had a couple like $30-ish games, including this game that I don't know if it's rare or not, but it's really expensive for some reason on PS4. I kind of want to pick it up, and I might eventually, but this time I'm like, I'd rather get more games as opposed to just 3. So I did 2 buy 2 get 1s, and I'm pretty happy with the results. So first up, we have MX vs ATV All Out Anniversary Edition. This is different from the one that I traded in. It's also an Xbox One, complete, in really good condition. So I didn't pay anything out of pocket for it because it was trading credit. It's worth 12 bucks. So I think it was a $15 game originally, so I lost a little bit of value, but I'm not complaining. Next one, and this one was probably the worst in terms of value, but again, it's trading credit. I don't really care that much. We have Darksiders 3 on the PS4. I wanted it on the Xbox One, but I could only find it on the PS4. That's fine. I paid nothing out of pocket because it was trading credit, and this one is worth 8 bucks. So I think they were asking for 15, so definitely worth less than what they were asking for, but you know, I don't have it, so good addition to the collection. This one surprised me quite a bit. I did not know this game had value, but apparently it does, and they were slipping on it. Everspace, the Stellar Edition on the Xbox One. This is in really good shape. Apparently this game is fairly uncommon. I paid, nothing because it was trading credit. They were asking for, I think, $12.99, so it was a weirdly kind of low-priced game. It's worth $19. So they were slipping on this one. So they underpriced it by like 5 bucks. That's pretty impressive. Pretty stoked for that. That's awesome. Next up, we have Gran Turismo Sport on the PS4. Yes, I finally got myself a copy of this. I've been trying to get it for a while. Never got around to it. Most of the time when I was trying to pick it up at like a pawn shop, they wanted like $8-9 bucks. Now, technically, I paid more, but it was trading credit, so it's basically fun money. This one is worth 10 bucks. So, you know, not amazing, but I'll take it, and I finally have a copy of it in my collection. This was the other big winner in terms of value. Fate Extello Link, I believe is what it is called. I don't know. Apparently this is a fairly long-running series. I know nothing about this game or what it is. It doesn't tell you. It just says new servants, new battles, new rivals, reborn in a lunar world. I have no idea. But sounds kind of cool. Looked interesting. Again, trading credit, I think they were asking for $17.99, and this one's worth $22. So again, they were kind of slipping on the price a little bit. All right, last game I picked up from GameStop is God of War 3 Remastered on the PS4. I still think it's dumb that they only remastered God of War 3 and not the collection that they put out on PS3. But whatever, I didn't have this one. I did at one point, I think I traded in a while ago. So I got it with credit. It's worth about $13, which is less than what they were asking for, but whatever, it's fine. So I got a total of 6 games for my trading credit. I also renewed my Power Up Rewards membership, and why that was good is in addition to everything, I got an immediate $5 coupon for that, and I got $10 in GameStop reward points. So essentially I got the renewal for free. I haven't gotten all the reward points yet. I'm still waiting on it, but I did get the $5 membership points immediately, so I used that right away on these. So did pretty well on those pickups. The last 2 games I'm going to show before we get to the good stuff. I mean, this is all good stuff, but the disc-only stuff. 2 games I picked up on eBay. And the story behind this is, if you watch one of my other channels, which is the Thrill Seekers, You probably know that I'm a big theme park fan. Did you know that there are a number of real-life theme parks that have video games based on or inspired by them? 2 of them came out on the Nintendo GameCube, and I decided to see how much I could get them for, and I picked them up for about what they were worth, so I was pretty happy with that. First off, we have SeaWorld Adventure Park's Shamu's Deep Sea Adventures. This is basically a platformer where you play as Shamu, but it's based on SeaWorld. I know this game is not good. Neither of these games are good. This one's not good, but I figured, you know what? It's based on a theme park. I really do like SeaWorld. Also, killer whales are my favorite animal. So why not? I paid $6 for this on eBay. It's worth about $6, so I broke even. But I figured, you know, kind of an interesting addition to the collection to have a GameCube game based on a theme park, a real theme park. So that's kind of cool. Last but certainly not least, if I got one based on one theme park, I had to get one based on another. We have the Nintendo GameCube exclusive Universal Theme Parks Adventure. This game is also not good. It's based on Universal Studios Japan, which is interesting because obviously this game came out in the US, but it's based on Universal Studios Japan. Alright, cool. It's basically a collection of mini games where you get to play little things inspired by Universal Studios attractions. Again, I just think it's kind of a cool piece of history, the fact that we have a Universal theme park-based video game on the GameCube. So I wanted to add it to my collection. I'd like to play it eventually, maybe for the channel one day if I can get streaming set up for like a Wii or maybe well, yeah, it'd have to be a Wii. So, yeah, nice pickup. I paid, I think, $14 for this, and it's worth $12, so about what I paid, basically. Okay, here's the fun stuff. So, I did go out already and go through this entire stack to determine value. Every single game you're about to see, I paid 30 cents for, so I'm not going to keep repeating how much I paid. I will tell you the value and the platforms. Now, these are all disc only. Some of them are a little rough shape, so I need to clean them up a little bit. There's one in particular I'm a little worried about because the condition's not amazing and it's worth a good amount of money, so I'm hoping I can clean it up and get it to work. I can't test any of the PS3 games because I don't have a PS3, but I'm going to try to test the Wii and Xbox 360 games on this lineup and see how those play. And if they work properly, hopefully I can. Let's go. So the first game I picked up, Battalion Wars 2 on the Wii. The disc is in pretty solid shape. It's got a few scratches, but definitely should be playable. That one is worth $7. I'm going to try to, as I go through this, I'm going to try to separate them by platform because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to store all these because I don't want to store them in a giant stack. I also haven't decided which of these games I'm going to keep and which ones I'm going to try to flip. I'm definitely going to try to flip some of them, but we'll see. We'll see how it happens. Next, we have Call of Duty Black Ops on the PS3. It's in pretty good shape. They did have a copy of Black Ops 2 on the PS3, but it was destroyed, which is unfortunate because I would have absolutely loved to trade that in. I know that game is actually worth a good amount and trade in at GameStop, but I couldn't. It wouldn't be worth anything because it was damaged. This one is worth $7 on PS3. This one was interesting because, again, it's kind of weird to see original Xbox games in a pawn shop, but I did find a handful of them. And this one is an Xbox original exclusive. We have Tao Feng Fist of the Lotus. I don't think I've ever played this game. I remember the box art. I don't know much about it. It's also not worth a whole lot. It's worth about $4. But, you know, it's an interesting original Xbox game. Could be a fun little addition to the collection. So having an original Xbox pile now. This one is the second, well, I guess third biggest score in the entire lineup because I already traded in the TMNT game. That was the biggest score. The second one I haven't revealed yet. This one is the third biggest one. And of course, as soon as I saw it, I had to grab it. We have SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom on the original Xbox. The disc is in pretty solid shape, to be completely honest. And yeah, I mean, this is a game that most people, not most people, but a lot of people grew up playing. They just remade it on current gen consoles. It's worth $14. So definitely did well on this one for sure. probably going to be flipping it on eBay. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, and this is oddly enough the game that is worth the least in the entire bundle, which surprises me. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 on the Xbox 360. The thing that makes this the least valuable is the fact that it's a Platinum Hits copy, which is odd to me that Platinum Hits makes that big of a difference, but apparently the regular version is worth like $4. Platinum Hits version is worth $1. I still paid less than that, so I'm not complaining, but I played this game a lot when it first came out, and I thought it was really dope, so I'm glad to have another copy of it on the 360. This one I'm pretty happy about. It's okay in terms of condition. We have Midnight Club Los Angeles on the Xbox 360. This is the complete edition, so I believe it includes all the content that came out for it. I don't know if that was a code or if it comes on the disc. Hopefully it comes on the disc. This one's worth $10, so definitely a solid pickup there. I've never really played the Midnight Club series, so it'd be nice to attempt to get into it. Next, we have Pure on the Xbox 360. This was an ATV racing game made by Disney, of all people. I heard pretty good things about it. The disc is okay. It's got some scratches on it, but I think it'll play once I clean it up. This one is worth $4. So again, not worth a ton, but again, considering how little I paid for these, I'm not at all gonna complain about games worth $3-4. That's like 300% increase. Next, we have The Club on the Xbox 360. I had this game when it came out and I beat it. It was cool because it's made by Bizarre Creations, who made like the Project Gotham series and Geometry Wars. But it was a shooter where like you went through levels and racked up points. So it was kind of like the kudos system. It was a cool idea, very like score based, but as a first person shooter. So I kind of liked it. This one is worth $5. Again, for how little I paid for these, I would not at all mind playing it again. So solid pickup there. Next up, we have, I remember all these, I think they all came out around the same time, like 2007, 2008. So I remember when all these games came out. We have Black Site Area 51 on the Xbox 360. I know this game was kind of controversial because it like dumbed down the Area 51 brand a little bit because it's rated teen. Didn't do too well for Midway. This game is worth $5, so not worth a ton, but again, you know, I literally just, because of the deal I was getting, I'm like, I'm just gonna grab every game that is in decent condition that looks somewhat interesting and see what can happen, and I killed it. Yeah, this came out in like 2006, so it was like shortly after the 360 came out. I remember this game, I never played it. It's worth $4, so not worth a ton, but you know, another interesting addition to the collection. And here we have a classic. Oh, this one, I don't think this one's gonna work. Yep, I did not see that crack, but that's okay. It's 30 cents, I'm not gonna complain. We have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. But if you look here, you can kind of see it as I bend it, there's a crack. So this one is actually going in the trash. Sad day, whatever. I'm not too broken up about it. If it were working condition, it'd be worth $5, but whatever, I'm not too sad. Next, we have Final Fantasy X-2. This one's in great shape, or sorry, this is 13-2. It's in great shape, looks really clean. This one is worth $7, so another solid addition to the 360 library. This one's got some scratches, but again, I think if I cleaned it up, it should work. We have Tony Hawk's Proving Grounds on the Xbox 360. Another Tony Hawk game I've not played. It's worth $7. Solid. Next, we have Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, the first one. This one, again, has some minor scratching, but I think if I clean it up, it will be fine. I played this one a lot when it came out as well. It's worth $4. Next, we have Grand Theft Auto Episodes from Liberty City. I believe this is both of the expansions that came out for Grand Theft Auto 4, but put on a disc, which is kind of interesting. Of course, with Grand Theft Auto games, unless it's 5 or 4, it's worth at least looking into, because they're usually worth something. This one is worth $9, so solid pickup. I've never played either of those expansions. I never really even finished 4, so maybe I'll play it. We'll see. Next up is Armored Core 4, another game that came out fairly close to when the Xbox 360 did. I think it was like a 2007 game, something like that, or 2006, yeah. It's a mech game, looks pretty fun. That one is worth $5. Cool. Next, and this one I realized after I grabbed it, it's a double up, so I'm probably gonna try to sell this in some way, shape, or form, maybe in a lot. The original home front on the Xbox 360, it's in pretty good shape. It's got some minor scratches, but I definitely think it will play if I clean it up. This one is worth $3, so not worth a whole lot of money, but you know, considering how much I paid, definitely worth that. This one, I was actually pretty excited for because I played this game when it first came out for a little bit. I thought it was kind of an interesting concept. Didn't really get into it that far, so I figured for as cheap as I got it, it was worth it. Legendary, which is like a fantasy-ish setting, but with guns. It's a first-person shooter. This one is worth $6. So, nice little pickup. Oddly enough, I saw a copy of that a couple weeks ago at my Walmart. For some reason, they had a sealed copy on the PS3 they were asking like $12 for. I'm like, I don't know who's gonna pay that for PS3 game, but you never know. Okay, this one is one that I really, really want to work. I'm really not sure it's going to. I'm gonna test it though, because it's worth a lot if it does. It's Michael Jackson The Experience on the Wii. It's the Walmart edition. It's got some scratches and some damage on it. I'm gonna clean it up and test it in my Wii to see if it functions. If it does, it's worth $18. So I really hope it works. I am gonna try it though, so that's my second Wii game picked up. Going back to the original Xbox again, we have MechAssault 2 Lone Wolf. I believe this one is backwards compatible on the Xbox Series X. I'll have to take a look. But another first-party Microsoft mech game. The Mech Assault series was pretty fun. This is in pretty solid shape. It is worth $4. So not worth a lot, but you know, it's always nice to bolster your original Xbox collection when you can. Still got a ways to go, folks. All right, Kingdom Under Fire Heroes on the Xbox 360. I wish I had the first one still. I played it and really liked it. It was kind of like a Dynasty Warriors-esque game, but medieval and had like this really like interesting storyline to it. This is the sequel. The disc is in good shape, pretty solid pickup. It's worth $5, so not worth a ton, but again, it's a series I did enjoy when I first played them, so why not? This one's pretty cool, and I don't even remember this version of the game. So, The Godfather, but on the Wii, it's the Black Hand edition. I don't even remember that there was a Wii version of The Godfather, but apparently there was. It's worth $7, so it's actually worth something. That's not bad. This one, again, I thought this game had more value. It's a well-known game, and I'm definitely going to keep it, considering the value, or how much I paid for it. We have Knight's Journey of Dreams on the Wii. It's worth $5. Not worth a ton, but it's a really good Wii game made by Sonic Team. Alright, next one we have is Dragon Blade Wrath of Fire on the Wii. I don't know much about this game. Sounded interesting. The disc is in really good shape. So again, I figured, you know what? Let's just grab it and hope for the best. This one is worth $4. Not worth much. I grabbed this because I've never heard of it before. It was a good grab. Princess Isabella, A Witch's Curse on the Wii. I have no idea what this is. Probably some sort of shovelware game. It's worth $11 loose. Okay, cool. I guess it's uncommon. I've never seen it before, so, you know. Alright, next, we're going back to the PS3, and this one is one I knew was going to be a good pickup. We have the God of War Collection on the PS3. I believe this is the PSP duo. I'm not 100% sure. I have the Saga, which is all of them on the PS3 combined. I don't think that's what this is. I think this one is the two PSP ones combined. Still worth a good amount. It's worth $6, so, you know, happy with that. This one's one that I didn't own. I have two, but I don't own the first one, so I'm like, well, I'll get the first one again. We have Resistance Fall of Man on the PS4. The disc is in pretty good shape. It's funny how originally I was like, oh man, it's really hard to damage a Blu-ray disc, and then some of the discs that I saw at this pawn shop were just absolutely trashed. So that is not entirely true. People have found ways to destroy Blu-ray discs, but this one's in good shape and it is worth $4. Home stretch. Very much home stretch. We got 2 games left. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance on the PS3. I wish it was on the Xbox 360 because I have been wanting to play this game for a while, but again, for the price I paid, I will gladly take a PS3 version, and eventually I will find a PS3 to play it on. This one is worth $9, so this one actually has some value. Last, but certainly not least, we have Baja Edge of Control on the PS3. This was, again, one of those racing games made by THQ, in the same vein as like the MX vs. ATV series. This one has been re-released on the Xbox One and PS4. This one's worth $8. That was a lot of games. So I did want to mention, just at that stop, so at Value Pawn, if you include all the disc-only games plus the Army of Two and the games I picked up for trade, which I had 4, so basically $20 of those games were picked up for trade, and then if you include Army of Two, which was 50 cents, and all this lot for $10, I paid $30.50 grand total for everything I picked up at that stop. It is worth a grand total of $253. Let that sink in for a second. $253. I made $223 in profit. That's insane. Absolutely insane. And for the day, if you include everything, I made $408 in profit. Needless to say, that was by far the biggest haul I have ever had for game hunting. And all I did was go to a pawn shop and ask them, hey, you have a bunch of games that don't have cases. Can I take a look at them? And that turned into a massive, massive deal, which can potentially get me a whole bunch of money if I end up selling all those games, which I'm not sure I'm going to, but we'll see. So that is going to do it for this episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. New videos on this channel air periodically, with new videos on this series airing on Mondays. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop. And I will see you on the next Bargain Game Hunter adventure. Bye-bye.